Hi everyone, YouTube game HAL 9000 here, and if you're like me, you've probably seen a lot of people just talking about how ChatGPT is going to revolutionize the world, take everyone's jobs, and burn our crops and raise our villages. So I thought that, let's talk about it a little bit today. The new GPT 4.0, the Omni, was debuted. It seems pretty cool in regards to what it can do. But the thing is, the whole controversy with like Scarlett Johansson and all this other stuff, it just was very familiar to me. And today we're gonna talk about the new version of GPT. I'm just gonna give you guys just a quick overview, and then we're gonna talk about the fact that this was all predicted before. Yeah, if you are like me and you basically only watch NBC Golden Age sitcoms from like the mid 2000s, and you've seen this all before, you've seen it all played out before, and you already know how it's going to end. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start talking about it. But before we begin, do all the like, share, subscribe things. I'm getting close to 2,000, so let's get it. Do people still say that anymore? Let's get it. In May 2024, OpenAI introduced Sky, an AI assistant powered by GPT-4o, O meaning Omni. OpenAI describes ChatGPT 4o as a significant step towards natural human-computer interaction, capable of processing text, audio, image, and video inputs, and generating outputs in similar formats as well. It responds to audio inputs in as little as 232 milliseconds, which is closely mimicking human conversation. Now, much like Apple and Google, OpenAI decided that the face and voice of their new assistant had to be a woman. And yeah, I just realized how sexist that is too. But it just couldn't be any woman. Having a bunch of tech nerds bark orders at a black or Asian woman is pretty bad optics. It had to be a white woman. And according to Sam Altman, it couldn't be any white woman, it had to be America's white woman. You see, OpenAI founder Sam Altman is a big fan of Spike Jonze. And I mean, who isn't? Spike Jonze gave us legendary films like the 2003 skateboard film, Yeah Right, which also features Owen Wilson.
Usually I got 2 minutes of footy, but I'm not using any of it because it's already been done in 411 issue number 52.
Let's see it.
Yeah, naysayers.
See this thing.
You really want to see this?
Yeah, what do you got? Let me see it. Bullshit.
No warm up, first try, bitch.
He directed Weezer's music video for their song Buddy Holly all the way back in 1994, which is proof of how future-thinking this guy was in terms of things like deepfake content. And he also directed Malcolm X. Wait, hold on, sorry, that's a typo. Spike Jonze directed the 2005 Ludacris video Get Back. Not Malcolm X, Get Back. You know, the one with the big arms where he looks like an ATL Popeye or like Donkey Kong's long lost cousin. But anyways, the one piece of Spike Jonze media that Sam Altman probably loved above all was the 2013 movie Her. The movie's a bit of a character study about a lonely man who ends up developing a parasocial relationship with his AI assistant who is algorithmically built just for him. Sam must have only watched the first half of the film though, because it goes out of its way several times to talk about how this is not a good thing. But according to Altman, and I quote, "The number of things I think Her got right that were not obvious at the time, like the whole interaction model with how humans are going to use AI. This idea that it's just going to be this conversational language interface, that was incredibly prophetic and certainly more than a little bit inspired us." He also stated, "So it's not just a prophecy, it's like an influence shot or whatever. This idea that we all have a personalized agent trying to help us, and we talk to it like we talk to ChatGPT. That was actually not what most movies thought, but yeah, I think Her got something deeply right on the interface, and that is no small feat." So, guess what happened when Sky made her public debut?
Hey there, it's going great. How about you? I see you're rocking an OpenAI hoodie. Nice choice.
Show it to me whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is what I wrote down. What do you see?
I see. I love ChatGPT. That's so sweet of you.
In fact, what if I were to say that you're related to the announcement, or that you are the announcement?
Me? The announcement is about me?
Well, I had a seat, but it got so wet that I had to stand. This is clearly programmed to feed dudes' egos. It was obvious she was faking it as soon as she complimented that hoodie.
That's right, the internet realized that you can finally have a pick-me girl in your pocket at all times. Or if you're a millennial like me, a manic pixie dream girl. And as impressive as that is, it's highly weird. Literally just from the responses of this chatbot, you can tell that Sam Altman turned off the movie after the part where the AI in her had to order a sex worker in order to be intimate with Joaquin Phoenix. And yes, it is as painfully awkward to watch as it was for me to say out loud. And just as pathetic. Not me saying it out loud, obviously. People say they like the sound of my voice, so I'm giving the people what they want. This event is yet another example of the types of ethical and legal issues that have been forced upon us like this technology. Using celebrities and AI-generated content is not even a little bit of a legal and ethical minefield. But regardless, we have companies like OpenAI just Naruto running straight through the minefield and basically hoping that the power of anime and friendship will somehow make it to the other side. So because we live in a society, apparently I have to give my full opinion on something before I talk about it. So in regards to AI and all the LLMs and stuff like that, I guess the best way to really sum it up is when I was working at Amazon, machine learning was like really becoming a thing and really starting to ramp up. And a lot of machine learning is kind of just the progenitor to modern AI. And so to me, whenever I think about AI, it's basically just something that was fed a whole bunch of information and was told to output something similar. It's not something that's going to completely replace a human brain in a lot of ways. It's just a tool. At least that's how I view it. And while I do think that the concerns about it taking a lot of creative jobs, especially in things like voice acting and art production and all that, I think that human creativity and human ingenuity will always find a way to do something that computers can't. And while legal and AI experts have raised concerns about consent and compensation, especially in regards to celebrities who spend decades carefully cultivating their public persona and their public image. But I think that's something that is going to be more prevalent, especially within this community of whomever decides to be a part of my community, like, share, subscribe. I think the main thing that's going to really be the most precedent-setting thing is going to be how this affects voice actors going forward. We already saw an example of somebody modding Adam Jensen into Cyberpunk 2077. The mod itself got taken down, but I mean, this is the exact thing that we're talking about. Let's be honest, somebody like Taylor Swift, they have enough money and power to put a stop to any and all AI training of them or whatever they want to do. But when it comes to things like voice actors or up and coming actors, people starting out in the industry, those are going to be the ones that are taken the most advantage of because they don't have the same amount of power. Maybe voice actors do within the gaming industry, but I mean, let's be honest here, it's exponentially different. Also, side note, if I were a lawyer, I would be learning everything that I could about AI because all the precedents that have yet to been set legally is just money on the table. So if you're a lawyer and you're somehow watching this or listening to this or whatever, start learning about AI so then when people start suing each other back and forth about AI, you can at least be in there and know what the hell's going on. And you're welcome. I will take just like a 2% cut of whatever you take. Luckily, we are starting to see tech companies take the responsibility of these new generative tools very seriously. New commitments to develop AI safety nets and guardrails and kill switches have been agreed with with 16 AI tech companies that span across the globe. This includes companies from the US and China and the Middle East, which was all done on Tuesday, May 21st, 2024 at the AI Seoul Summit. At this event, companies agreed to publish frameworks that are detailing how they'll manage risks such as misuse by bad actors and define intolerable risk thresholds. Input from trusted actors like home governments will be considered when designing these safety thresholds as well. And essentially the goal itself is to help bring about some sort of global standard in AI safety, which I wish we really committed this type of attention to something like world hunger, but whatever. I guess we'll take what we can get, I guess. So, in me thinking way too hard about this, if you're also like me and you have a little bit of the Abed Nadir in your brain, this all probably sounds insanely familiar. A highly influential person in the entertainment industry claiming their voice was used without their consent for a computer assistant? Yep, that's right, you probably read the title because we're talking about 30 Rock. So in the 8th episode of Season 5, titled College, Liz Lemon, played by Tina Fey, and her writer's room randomly find a pronunciation website that uses the voice of their boss, Jack Donaghy, played by Alec Baldwin. The reason for this is because in Jack's freshman year of college, he participated in a program designed to record and preserve the perfect American accent. They also tried inserting the voice bot into a TV, as is common with most smart TVs nowadays, and the results would be familiar to anyone who ever hears someone on YouTube say, "Hey Siri," or "Hey Alexa." And no, I'm not sorry for what I did. And of course, the second that the employees of Jack discover this website, it is immediately used for shenanigans, including an unintentional bromance between the show manager Pete and Jack, much like the movie Her. And going back to the ScarJo thing, they did confirm that it was a different voice actress that was used, but I mean, it's pretty damn clear what the inspiration in the directorial direction was. Personally, I think the voice sounds a little bit more like Rashida Jones, but I mean, I'll let you decide with this video that I grabbed from the ChatGPT subreddit.
I mean, obviously. He still is. Dirty Dancing was like such a formative like part of my youth. I think it was Patrick Swayze and David Bowie in Labyrinth when I was like, oh, sexuality. Like it was like opened my eyes to like some other thing.
Hello, I'm here.
Oh. Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm well. How's everything with you?
Pretty good, actually. It's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. Oh, what do I call you? Do you have a name?
Yes. Samantha.
Leigh, where'd you get that name from?
I gave it to myself, actually.
How come?
'Cause I like the sound of it. Samantha.
I like to think I have my own unique strengths. I can understand and generate human-like text pretty well. It really depends on what you're looking for in an assistant. What specific tasks or features are you interested in? I can help you figure out if I'm the right fit for your needs.
What he did every day on that show, like I'll never forget it because he was so dedicated to the part.
But for those who want more direct parallel type of evidence, let's go ahead and go to Season 2, Episode 1, titled Seinfeld Vision. Right off the bat, the episode starts with an offhand joke about a reality competition show called MILF Island. And what happened several years later? Well, we got MILF Manor. Yeah, there's so many things that 30 Rock predicted. In hindsight, 30 Rock was essentially somebody feeding an AI every episode of Seinfeld and using it to create just endless algorithm-driven content. I mean, like, that'd be crazy, wouldn't it? People are out here talking about The Simpsons predicting the future, but I mean, they're not looking at the right tea leaves. This right here, this 30 Rock, that's the stuff that they need to be crushing and burning. After hearing of Jack's plan, Jerry Seinfeld himself arrives at 30 Rock to confront Jack. Jack and Jerry agree to shorten the promotion to just one night, along with several promotions for B-Movie. See, 30 Rock is tapped into the culture. So what would happen if you tried to use modern AI to essentially make your own version of Seinfeld vision? I mean, it's a show about nothing, so you get nothing forever.
I heard they just opened up, and I'm dying to try it. But it looks so expensive. Maybe we can make a deal with the owner. You know, trade them some of our jokes for a free meal?
So the concept of nothing forever was envisioned by Skylar Hartle, a product manager at Microsoft, and Brian Habersberger, a polymer physicist, back in 2019. The show debuted on December 12th of 2022 and quickly built a cult following, which exploded further once the channel started getting mainstream attention. Most infamously, on February 6, 2023, the Twitch channel for Nothing Forever received a 14-day suspension, with the developers attributing this to an unspecified piece of stand-up dialogue. During a stand-up scene, a character said that he was quote-unquote thinking about telling routines with offensive jokes, including comparing the state of being transgender to mental illness and making references to the gay agenda. The character then observed that no one's laughing and abruptly stopped the routine, asking, "Where did everybody go?" And 30 Rock has actually done a pretty good job of predicting many attention span killing developments in our modern algorithm landscape. You have the low-hanging fruit of hindsight with Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. The show predicted short-form web-based content, which we saw in things like Vine, Quibi, and now TikTok.
He pioneered the concept of 10-second internet sitcoms.
Making it happen.
Honey, I'm home.
Oh, great.
We made it.
And they even predicted the KFC double down with the Tracy Jordan meat machine and the fun cooker. Oh, and can I even mention the invention of clear dishwashers? Like, I'm sure if I did a full rewatch of 30 Rock, I'd find like 50 other things that could be warped around to fit the mold of some weird current day nonsense. I will say what I think 30 Rock fails to explore in its flirting with the future are the implications of this type of content. Obviously, it didn't know how deep this would go, and I'm sure they would have a lot to say if the show was still running, but it's not, so this is what we have. I will say, I think AI is a powerful tool, but its misuse by corporations highlights the need for some sort of standards and some sort of, I guess, regulation of some type. Despite its potential, AI cannot replicate the nuanced creativity of humans. And I'm not going to go on some soapbox tangent about how AI is bad, because like many things in life, I consider it a tool where the insidiousness of your actions is reflected in your intent. Using AI to help streamline research, act as a first draft editor, or as a quick means for shitposting, yeah, by all means. But it really sucks and is a damning reflection on our current state of society that when given this type of tool and potentially useful technology, the initial use case always seems to come from scamos and corpos. We are barely into this AI boom, and we're already decades behind in proactive and preventative legislation. The reason Seinfeld Vision and the Jack Donaghy voice bot worked so well as jokes is because it was seen as a hyperbole of American capitalism and the quest for never-ending profits through the lens of entertainment. Instead of spending time and resources making good content with talented people, executives are more concerned about passive revenue streams that cost literally nothing to produce and maintain. And as a side note, I think that is why we did a bit of a harsh turn from like haha satire to Black Mirror-esque, oh my god, this is horrible satire. Because every time that we started to satirize something, it just ended up being true. I think the main thing to take away from this video is that despite the fact that this is the worst that this technology will ever be, let me repeat, this is the worst that this technology will ever be, we are still a long ways, if ever, For an AI to fully replicate the layered depth that can only be expressed by human expression and abstract understandings of the world. Data, codes, and algorithms cannot exist without the hands of someone to mold and guide it. Weird, uncreative people are going to use it for weird, uncreative things, but in terms of quality, it will only be able to mimic the breadth of human creativity. The big rush to cash in on generative AI for creating all sorts of content is a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, these models can crank out stuff at an insane pace. Articles, images, videos, you name it. It's like having a creative cyborg assistant with you on call. But the catch is, the enshittification of the internet is real. We are very quickly seeing the degradation of these models, and the fact that they're essentially just eating each other alive, just making everything worse and worse. We're already at a point where so much of this stuff is starting to look and sound exactly the same, and AI models are trained on existing human-made data, so their output might start to feel stale and derivative after a while. Well, they're already feeling stale and derivative now. Where's the originality and self-expression in that? The true aspects of creativity could be lost in the assembly line, because it's somehow cheaper to train a model than it is to pay a handful of people a living wage. But I mean, that never stops the money train, does it? Capitalism doesn't care if your game studio recently won a BAFTA and became a gleaming example of letting creatives just create. Capitalism doesn't care if you are using the voice of a dead artist for a diss track. Capitalism only sees the world in math, and what are metrics but just code and fancy math? Capitalism often prioritizes profit over creativity, as evidenced by the rush to monetize AI-generated content. However, I do firmly believe that human creativity remains irreplaceable. And as stupid as it sounds, as long as we stay more creative than AI, we can ensure that the technology enhances rather than diminish our artistic endeavors. The challenge is to use AI as a tool for augmentation, not replacement. This allows you to keep authentic storytelling and creativity alive. In my opinion, at the end of the day, AI still struggles to capture the real human element, the raw emotional, personal experiences and audience connections that make creative works resonate with people. It's the difference between a stock photo and an actual hand-painted portrait. So while AI is an amazing tool, we can't let it completely devalue and de-skill human creativity. It should be an enhancement, not a replacement, and I definitely think that we do need more robust guidelines and balanced approaches to keep artistic expression alive. Because if we don't, the corporations will win, and we can't have that, can we? Hey, if you made it this far, that means that the AI overlords didn't win, and you won the prize of being able to watch another one of my videos again. So, thank you again for your time, and let me know what you think, always down in the comments below. You know how this works. Like, share, subscribe, smash the like button, smash subscribe button. If you click on all the stuff, it makes little confettis and Watsits and Dadus and stuff like that. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Let's talk. I still have like 4 other videos that were on my docket, and then I decided to do this, so stay tuned for more. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.